エンジェルスとの3連戦を3連敗で終え、今日から始まったダイヤモンドバックスとの3連戦ですが連敗脱出を願うも投手陣が打たれ、9対5で敗戦となってしまいました。大谷翔平選手は第3打席に逆方向のレフトへのホームランを放ち、4打数1安打1打点と、未だ好調モードには見えますが勝利にはつなげられず、9回には一気に逆転の雰囲気が漂いましたが、大谷翔平選手の前のキム・ヘソン選手が内野ゴロに倒れゲームセット。現地放送も悔しさをあらわに報道しておりましたので、その様子を翻訳してお届けいたします。
Hello and welcome to Access Sportsnet Dodgers. I'm John Hartung alongside Jerry Hairston Jr., Nomar Garcia-Parra. The Dodgers' struggles continue tonight at the Ravine. They lose their 4th consecutive game, and also for the 4th consecutive game, they allow multiple runs in the top of the 1st inning, digging themselves in a huge hole. It was 7-0 Arizona after 3 innings, Jerry, and while the Dodgers tried to battle back, tried to make it interesting in the 9th inning, the deficit was just too great.
Yeah, I really love the fight of this Dodger team, especially on the offensive side. They came back, try to give themselves a chance there in that 9th inning. But once again, the theme, you got to be able to pitch, you got to be able to defend, and unfortunately, 9 runs in the big leagues, just tough to cover.
Yeah, it's really hard to come back in that 9th inning when you're down by so many runs. So, yeah, you're right. They're going to fight, and that's always great to see. And we know that, and we expect that. But at the same time, when you look overall, when you look in the first 4 innings and your staff ends up giving the opposing team 8 at-bats with runners in scoring position. There were guys on base. They were trying to get, and they allowed those runs, and it was just an uphill battle for the offense the entire way. So it was really a tough formula to try to come back and win these games. You know, they still managed. We always say 10-5. They didn't get 10 hits, but they got 5 runs. So, you know, they were in that. They gave themselves at least runs. Usually they say, okay, was that enough to kind of pull off the win? Fortunately, it's not enough.
Well, and Jack Dreyer was a bit unlucky in the top of the 1st inning with the fly ball that they just didn't see because of the twilight sky, Jerry. But the Dodgers relievers gave up 3 more home runs tonight in this game against Arizona. They've now allowed 29 home runs this season. The Dodgers relievers have. That is the most in the National League.
Yeah, and that's really not good. Here, a changeup. They wanted it down and away. That leaps back inner half to Gurriel's power. He's able to drive it out of the ballpark. You have to be able to hit your spots. Here's that changeup. Down. They wanted it away. It's down and in. Gurriel puts a really good swing on it. 2-run shot. Here, Perdomo had 5 home runs coming in. I know he hits in the 9th spot, but this is his 6th. He has plenty of pop in his bat. Once again, center cut, able to put a good swing on it, right down the middle, able to barrel it.
Yeah, you know, you look at that number, the most this season, obviously that is not a good number. But then also you look at it like, okay, sweet, we've seen a couple off-landed knack there. We see the home runs that were hit off him, and he's considered a reliever rather than considered that predominantly he'd be the starter. The other thing, too, is factored in those numbers is that, which is also not good, is that they have the relievers that have thrown the most innings in all of baseball, too. So when you have your relief staff use that much, being taxed that much, and then you're going to see those numbers. So obviously, all around, just not good that you need the starting pitchers to really going out there and starting setting the tone a lot more, getting deeper, and that hopefully everybody starts getting, and there's be like some consistency from the starters all the way through the relief pitching.
It was a strange night for Brandon Pfaadt of the Diamondbacks. He did not strike out a single Dodger hitter in 6 innings. Dodgers hit 3 home runs off of him. Nomar, those were the only 3 hits they had. But Mookie Betts, good to see him get back into the home run column. He hit a pair tonight, and both of them pull side.
Yeah, this is one positive of the game. Obviously, with Mookie Betts hitting a couple home runs, him pulling the ball. You know, we said in the past, when Mookie Betts is pulling the ball, that means he's feeling pretty good and kind of getting close to where he wants to be, because he's using more of that top hand to get to the ball and fire it, you know, and it doesn't mean he's always just pulling it, he'll go the other way, but it's always a good sign when he's able to pull the ball and doing it in that fashion. So hitting a couple home runs, hopefully, you know, that gets him going, gets that confidence going, and we're going to just see Mookie Betts, because we know how great he is, just kind of take off. You know, on the other standpoint, though, I just think when you look at Brandon Pfaadt, I just want to say something here with that. You know, it's a quality start, you know, in today's game, right, where you give up 3 runs and you go 16, it's a quality start. But at the same time, though, it's a quality start, going out there, giving this team a chance without getting a strikeout. So it's not always about that.
Zero
it's not always
swing
about
zero
swing, but finds a way. I mean, that's also pitching. Understand? Okay, pitching to contact, doing all that. So there are ways to do that where it's not always about velocity and everything. Like you have to punch everybody out and getting all that. Go out there and pitch and give your team a chance. He did that.
And it's different when you're a pitcher. You ask any starting pitcher, when you have a healthy lead, they're going to pitch to contact too. So he's a little bit more aggressive there. But credit the Dodgers. The Dodgers squared him up. They didn't really have a whole lot to show for it. 11 lineouts either on the ground or right at somebody, so they did square him up. But when you're pitching with a 7-0 lead, usually starters are going to be a little bit more aggressive.
Yeah, not nibbling as much. We saw that also with Shohei Ohtani tonight, Jerry. He got a pitch to hit, and the Big Show hit number 17 going the other way.
Yeah, it's amazing. He's got power to all fields. This one is a breaking ball, outer third, able to stay on it, stay back, stay square, and drive it over the left field wall. Just love his swing. Understanding, really, I can go anywhere deep. Look at him stay back right there and fire his hands. He stays square as long as possible, head down on contact. Just a beautiful swing. He doesn't take at-bats off. Fun to watch.
Jerry, you and I really like it when we see Shohei Ohtani going the other way like that with authority, because he is staying behind the ball. That means both his bottom side, his hips, and his front side aren't leaving at the same time. You know, maybe his hips can open up, and then when his top side, his shoulder opens up together, that's when he gets himself in trouble. But when that top front shoulder stays closed, he's able to stay back on a pitch like that. The other thing, he did an excellent job not giving up on that. That was a breaking ball, kind of a back door where it's really easy to think, okay, that's going to be a ball, give up on it. He doesn't. He stayed back, stayed on it, and drove it the other way.
When the Dodgers saw the Diamondbacks a little over a week ago in Arizona, they had that 6-run ninth inning. So they're down by 6 going into the bottom of the ninth, Jared. And you're thinking, all right, maybe there's a chance if you can get a few guys on. And sure enough, Freddie Freeman starts it with a double, and the Dodgers start to pass the baton a little bit to try to make this thing interesting.
Again, I love the fight of this Dodger team. They could have came in that ninth inning, really kind of mailed it in. Listen, heading into our 4th loss in a row here at Dodger Stadium, and Freddie Freeman rocket to right. Will Smith hustling right here, gets out, really legs out a hit right there, not giving up on the play. That is the theme of this Dodger team, trying to put themselves in position. Here, Teo puts the ball in play, gets an RBI out of it. But once again, the Dodgers having good at-bats in the ninth inning.
Yeah, and you know the other thing, too, is when you look at this was also the one inning that they had at-bats with runners in scoring position. Prior to that, they only had one at-bat with a runner in scoring position. That was in the 7th inning. But here in the 9th inning, regardless, still not giving up, not just taking that for granted, say, oh, like, we're really struggling here, and you tip your hat. They are not going to give up. They're going to go out there, especially when you did it before. You're like, hey, we can do it again. And, you know, even though they came up short, they know still, hey, listen, we're in that situation again. We're still going to find a way, and we know potentially that we can go out there and pull those games off.
Yeah, down 6 going into the bottom of the 9th inning, and they had Shohei Ohtani in the on-deck circle representing the tying run. Unfortunately, he was never able to make it to the plate to tie this game. All right, let's take a look at what's coming up on the Dodgers calendar. 2 games left on the homestand. Tomorrow night is Mexican Heritage Night. Wednesday is Will Smith World Series Final Out bobblehead night. Dodgers then hit the road. A weekend series against the Mets and an NLCS rematch before they head to Cleveland to face the Guardians this weekend, all on national TV. The other games right here on Sportsnet LA. Carl's Jr. moment of the game, Jerry. It's Mookie Betts hitting not 1 but 2 home runs pull side. He has 8 on the year.
I love the swing when Mookie Betts is pulling the breaking ball. Outstanding job staying back, staying square. Look at that top hand finishing that swing. Once again, left center field for a 2nd bomb of the night. Almost went big fly a 3rd time later in the game. That swing is coming along.
I like it. I love the top hand because there are times when he's here on top rather than underneath, which really gets him in trouble. It makes all the difference.
All right, let's head inside the clubhouse and hear from Mookie Betts right now with Kirsten Watson and the media.
How have you guys just found, kind of, especially when you look at these last few games and how it has truly been a battle in each one?
I mean, yeah, it has. We haven't given up. I mean, but you're going to go through certain situations like this. You know, it's just tough. We got to find a way to get back healthy, get our guys back out there. We got.
For you offensively, just to get those 2 home runs, when you're showing power like that, is that at least an encouraging sign for you? And
Sure. You know, it didn't really matter because we lost, but you know, I had a good games and then kind of went missing, so have to keep it going.
Have you still been working through like the same habits you had early in the year, or kind of what's been the focus of your work lately?
Man, I don't know. It's kind of been all over the place, just trying to figure things out. You know, found a little cue that worked today, so we'll see tomorrow. I mean, it's just a constant battle. I mean, you don't. There's a lot of variables that kind of.
Marco, top-tier stat line, no March. Shohei Ohtani, number 17 for number 17, which leads Major League Baseball.
Are you not entertained? Of course we are. It's the big show, finding a way to get on the board, driving it the other way, showing off the power once again. Beautiful swing. Gosh, we love it when he's going the other way like that. He is tough to pitch to and fun to watch.
Having a huge month of May. Unfortunately, the Dodgers fall to the Diamondbacks. They lose their 4th in a row. Let's head inside the clubhouse and hear from Landon Knack with the media.
When you look at this outing, how they were able to get to you kind of earlier in your outing, what were you seeing just from your execution and from how they were attacking you?
Yeah, I mean, obviously early on, just execution just wasn't there. I mean, yeah, we just kind of leaving some pitches over the middle, like getting into some deep counts, just not really executing what we needed to. And they took advantage of a couple mistakes. I mean, they definitely didn't miss those. And so just very frustrating early on to put us kind of in that situation. Was glad eventually we locked it in kind of as we kept going and provided a little bit of length. But, yeah, just bad execution early on and just got to be better.
What's going through your head when you are trying to lock back in, though? Because, I mean, to be able to, like you said, provide some length and even find different ways to, I imagine, protect the bullpen had to have at least been encouraging.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I basically came in and was immediately like, just ride me as long as you can to save that pen a little bit. I mean, I just, as we were kind of going forward, just trying to find the adjustment as quick as I could. I mean, obviously, first inning, it didn't quite make it in time, and so, but was able to kind of make it a little bit better after that and start kind of getting back to the attack and kind of executing after that. So was glad to at least be able to pitch a little deeper to save them a little bit.
How frustrating stretch has it been, just sort of considering how much the bullpen has had to throw this year?
Yeah, it's been frustrating. I mean, yeah, early on, especially in games, just kind of the inconsistency, and for me right now, just trying to keep things where they need to be, keep on the attack. I mean, the deep counts and walks, I mean, it's just not me, and so been frustrating, continuing to try to push that forward and just try to build off of the throw that we had at the end of that, and just stay on the attack.
Remember, fans, each night if Dodgers pitchers strike out at least 7 batters, everyone will get a free Jumbo Jack the following day at Jack in the Box with the purchase of a large drink, only at LA area restaurants. Unfortunately, the Dodgers managed just 5 strikeouts tonight, but there's another chance coming up tomorrow when Yoshinobu Yamamoto gets the ball against the Diamondbacks. Dodgers fall 9-5 to Arizona. Let's go inside and hear from the skipper, Dave Roberts.
Dave, a lot obviously happened in this game tonight, but how it ended is, can you be encouraged by what you saw with how this game ended and how you saw these teams try to find ways to kind of battle that?
Yeah, certainly encouraged. I thought that, fighting back the way we did the at-bats, obviously Mookie really showing life tonight was huge. It's just kind of, it's hard to start, games behind, before you take an at-bat. And I think the last week we've given up runs in the first inning. So it's just, we got to throw up that 0 and kind of get a chance to get the game going. But it does show something about our offense that we continue to fight. And to get Shelby in the game was big. To kind of get to their bullpen a little bit, given down 7-0 early. I think that, bodes well for the next couple games. But yeah, I mean, I think that, given extra outs, things like that, for a team right now that doesn't strike out a lot of guys, when the ball's in play, we've got to make plays that we need to make. And we also got to get strike one and things like that. So, at the end of the day, it was good to see Landon chew up 5 innings to kind of get to the next day, but, it's still a loss.
How difficult is this period you're going through with the pitching? And is it as simple as saying this is just not the staff that you thought you would have this season?
It's not the staff we thought we'd have this season, but I feel that kind of what we still do and have done in the past with injuries, we're not doing. And I say that in the sense of getting ahead of hitters and keeping the ball in the ballpark. But yeah, we're not, obviously we're banged up a little bit on the pitching side of things. I think the offense is going well, but with that, we still got to make sure our defense is tightened up to give the pitchers the best chance to have success when they do get that opportunity.
They can't just lose it.
He just lost it, and you know, and you know, I don't know if it was twilight or what. He just lost it, and so that's just, unfortunately, that's something that happened.
Decision to play him out there in Edmund at second,
just more of just kind of Tommy played center yesterday, and the idea of trying to take care of his ankle, because when he gets top speed, that's what kind of potentially could put him in harm's way. So trying to take care of him on a back-to-back. He'll be down tomorrow, and just kind of that's the kind of the thought behind it.
Losing it though, should Kim have been better about letting Teo know, hey, giving him a signal earlier on?
I think so, and I think that's something where you haven't played a whole bunch of center field, so I think right at that point in time, he's just trying to find the baseball and not really kind of letting, you know, the guys to the side know that he is having trouble. But that's more experience and kind of an outlier play, but yeah. Thanks, guys.
To the D-backs, Nomar, what do you want to see from Yoshi tomorrow?
Well, one is putting up a zero in that first inning. I mean, that's something we need to see from a starter, because we have not seen that as of late. We heard Dave Roberts even touch on that, you know, playing from behind early on is really tough to do. So hopefully he can, one, put up the zero, and then the other, then be effective throughout the entire game, and hopefully give them length, you know, because you're going to rely on an ace, and he's been pitching like an ace this year.
Yeah. I expect him to bounce back, you know, make some adjustments and pitch a whole lot better. We know he's got incredible stuff. Give us a length, hopefully 6, possibly 7 strong innings from Yamamoto.
All right, he's the ace. He's going to try to be the stopper and stop this 4-game losing streak. The middle game of the series coming your way tomorrow night. Our pregame coverage begins at 6. For Jerry, Nomar, and Kirsten, I'm John. Thanks for watching. We will see you tomorrow from Dodger Stadium.
ベッツ選手2本、大谷翔平選手1本のホームラン構成でしたが、やはり先発投手陣が初回から3回までに7失点してれば、勝てる試合も勝てませんね。ランドン・ナック投手の安定感のなさは見てて辛いものがありますよね。いい時はサクサク三者凡退ですが、ダメだとフォアボールは多いですし、あっさり打ち込まれる印象です。試合後のインタビューも毅然と答えてましたが、もうちょい踏ん張ってくれって感じですね。明日は山本由伸投手です。なんとか悪い流れをここで断ち切っておきたいですね。好投に期待しましょう。それでは次回の動画でお会いしましょう。さようなら。